Wells Fargo. Where you been, man? Your Trifecta, Quadfecta has arrived this year. It's a little late to the game, but we'll see how it stacks up to the rest of the popular setups. We're gonna talk about 4 Wells Fargo personal cards and 1 business card. But Rich, what about the built card? The built we're not doing today, that's its own thing. We're gonna focus on the cards that earn points in the Wells Fargo rewards system. And be sure to stick around for the end because we're gonna be comparing the Wells Fargo setup to other popular setups in a way I bet you have never seen before. Every setup needs a good foundation. When one of your other cards doesn't cover a particular category, you need a card to fall back on. That's the active cash. Now, the active cash has a $200 sign-up bonus when you spend $500 in the first 3 months. It has no annual fee, but it does have foreign transaction fees, so you have to be careful about that. However, it can redeem its points in the Wells Fargo travel portal. It doesn't have access to the transfer partners, and that's where you'll usually get the most value out of your points, so you're just gonna get 1 cent per point. For spending categories, like I mentioned, this is your catch-all card. It's 2x on everything across the board, and that's it. No other categories, it's just a catch-all card. Now, there are not a lot of standard benefits to point out. You've got the cellular telephone protection, and then all the standard benefits that come with a Visa signature card as well. The application rules are just the standard Wells Fargo 1.6, where you can't open a Wells Fargo card within 6 months of opening up the last card. So to get the Wells Fargo set up, it is going to take you at least 18 months to 2 years. Now, if you've watched one of my videos before or you've been to the website, you'll notice something new on this page. We've got these 2 buttons here that have the Wells Fargo autograph and the Wells Fargo autograph journey. Now, what this is telling you is this card, when it earns points, so if it's your catch-all card, you're getting 2x on all the purchases that don't meet the categories of the rest of your setup. You can take those points and transfer them to one of these 2 cards. And this is what it's indicating right here, is that this card can transfer to these cards if you have one of these 2 cards. I don't have one of these 2 cards on my, I mean, I do in real life, but not in this demo account. If I did, one of them would be lit up. The one I have would be already lit up and telling you, oh, you already have this card. You're gonna get estimated travel points value of 1.6 for Wells Fargo, and you can transfer it to that card. So essentially, you're gonna be getting 3.2 as your catch-all. Effectively, you'll earn 2 points, but they'll be worth 3.2 if you transfer to those cards and use those cards with transfer partners to get an average point value of 1.6. So going forward on any of the card pages, you'll see these transfer possibilities if they have it on that particular card. Why this is important is you'll be able to compare across credit cards and across point systems with one another, apples to apples. So the points guy has deemed the Wells Fargo points worth 1.6. Some other systems are worth more, some other systems are worth less. So when we compare across systems, we'll be able to get an apples to apples comparison. So you're really earning 2x, but effectively you're earning 3.2x when compared to other cards across the entire system. The next card is the weirdest card. I mean, it's weird. It's out there. Is it crazy or is it genius? Let me know what you think in the comments, but we're talking about the Wells Fargo Attune. It has a sign-up bonus of $100 when you spend $500 in the first 3 months. Oh, and hey guys, when you do that, they're gonna donate $50 to something called Capital Inc., a nonprofit. So some CEO can fly his jet to check out what's going on in the nonprofit. Who knows where that money's going, but if it's not kids with cancer, then just shut up, just stop it. I don't know, maybe it's good. If you know anything about Capital Inc., put it in the comments, but it sounds sketch. Now again, with this card, no annual fee, but there is foreign transaction fees, so of course be careful about that. Now, once again, you can use your points to redeem in the travel portal, but you do not have access to the transfer partners. So you will not be getting that 1.6 cent per point value that you would be if you were able to transfer to another card. So if you had an autograph card, you can transfer those points over and get that 1.6 cents value by transferring to transfer partners. Now, this is the weird part, the spending categories. I feel like they're marketing to the younger crowd, which is great. No annual fees and these crazy little spending categories they got. So fitness membership, you know, you're a young stud working out, I get it. You need 4X on your gym memberships. Flowers and gardens, you've been working out, you're gonna have a girlfriend, you're gonna need to send her flowers. Boom, 4X. You got hobbies, 4X for the ladies. You've got Michael's and Joann's and Etsy for the dudes. You've got GoPro, you've got Lego store. I mean, once you get a girlfriend, maybe we put the Legos aside for a little while, but still 4X on hobby stores, that's great. Pet care, everybody's got a pet these days, killing it, 4X. Ride sharing, you're in the city, you're young, you're drinking at the bars, you're responsible, you're driving home, 4X. 4X in sports and recreation, I mean, come on. If you're young and active, you're doing something on this list, 4X. Streaming services, who's young and not streaming these days? Nobody has cable anymore. Transit, 4X. Can't afford the Uber, you're taking the bus, you're taking the train, 4X. Everything else is 1X. Don't worry, we're covered with the active cash. Standard benefits, we just have the cell phone protection and the secondary car rental insurance, along with anything the MasterCard World Elite covers as a standard benefit. And like with all Wells Fargo cards, I'll stop saying it, but the Wells Fargo 1/6, one card every 6 months. This next card is probably one of the most comprehensive travel cards that costs you absolutely nothing. It's the Wells Fargo Autograph. The Autograph sign-up bonus is 20,000 points when you spend $1,000 in 3 months. And like I mentioned, there's no annual fee for this card. There's also no foreign transaction fees. You can redeem the points in the travel portal, and it has access to transfer partners. As you can see here, we have the 1.6 cents per point already highlighted because we have access to the transfer partners, which modifies the earning points. Now, if you're not going to use the transfer partners and you're just gonna redeem in the portal, you can turn this off. So this is what you will get versus effectively what you would get if you were using the transfer partners and getting the 1.6 cents per point value. For the spend categories, it earns 3X on everything travel and everything transit, plus a few more. So you got 3X on airfare, doesn't require a portal. 3X on car rentals, doesn't require the portal. You also get 3X on cell phone carriers. You get 3X on cruises. You get 3X on dining. You get 3X on gas and EV charging. You get 3X on hotels, doesn't require the portal. You get 3X on parking, 3X on rideshare, 3X on streaming services, 3X on toll fees, 3X on transit, 3X on travel, and then 1X on everything else. But don't forget, we have the active cash to cover all that. Just like the Attune, it only has a cell phone protection and secondary car rental insurance. Now, those three cards make up the Wells Fargo Trifecta. Now, you could swap out the active cash for a different card. That's the Signify Business Cash Card. The Signify has a $500 sign-up bonus when you spend $5,000 in the first 3 months. Again, there's no annual fee on this card either, but it does have foreign transaction fees. And you can redeem these points in the travel portal as well. But like the active cash, it doesn't have its own access to the transfer partners. You would have to use one of the two autograph cards to transfer your points over to there to use in the transfer partner access. But also like the active cash, you get a solid 2X across the board for all purchases. So if you have the ability to apply for a business card, this seems like a much better deal because you're getting a $500 sign-up bonus instead of a $200 sign-up bonus. But you also get some more standard benefits. That is free employee cards, of course, and then you've got the primary auto rental coverage, as well as access to Priority Pass, so you can get lounge access in airports. It also has worldwide automatic common carrier travel accidents insurance. Now, I'm pretty sure the Wells Fargo 1/6 still applies to this card, but maybe because it's a business card, they may not care that you've had another card within 6 months. Your mileage may vary. So we just covered 2 different ways that you can have the Wells Fargo Trifecta with absolutely no annual fees and tons of coverage. However, you could step it up a notch. If you don't mind having a little bit of an annual fee, then we can get you a little bit more coverage across your categories. And that's with the brand new this year 2024 Autograph Journey. It has a 60,000 point sign-up bonus, now we're talking, when you spend $4,000 over the first 3 months. Now it does have an annual fee, which is unlike all the other cards in the setup. It's $95. That's not terrible. You can get that back pretty quick. It also has no foreign transaction fees. You have access to the travel portal to redeem your points, and it has access to the transfer partners, so you can get the 1.6 per point value that the points guy estimates they're worth when you transfer to partners. However, if you just redeem your points in the portal, you'll just be getting 1 cent per point. And for the spending categories, you'll be getting 5x on hotels, doesn't require a portal, 4x on airfare, doesn't require a portal, 3x on car rentals, doesn't require the portal. You get 3x on cruises, you get 3x on dining, 3x on parking, 3x on ride sharing, 3x on toll fees, you get 3x on transit, 3x on all travel. Basically, that's where you're getting all the 3x's from, is transit and travel. Transit is covered under travel. Travel covers all of that. And then 1x on everything else, but you're covered on either the Signify or the Active Cash. Now for standard benefits, the Autograph Journey has a $50 airfare credit annually for any airfare purchases. So if you purchase American Airlines in the American Airlines portal with your Autograph Journey card, they'll just credit up to $50 back to you. You get the standard phone protection, you get lost baggage reimbursement, secondary auto collision damage waiver, you get some travel protection benefits, trip cancellation protection, then you get the common carrier travel insurance as well. All right, so we've talked about the Wells Fargo point system and the travel portal and the transfer partners. Let's take a look at what those look like. So we'll scroll down here, click on the point system. Now, it used to be called Go Far Rewards. I think 2016 they came up with Go Far Rewards, and I think they've quietly sort of renamed it. I look back, I didn't see any like big press releases as to, oh, we're changing it from Go Far to just Wells Fargo Rewards, but now it's Wells Fargo Rewards. So the points guy rates it at 1.6 cents per point, and the cash value is 1 cent if you're going to cash out. There are no spouse transfers or transferring to friends at all. And so when we're talking about transfer partners, we're talking about transferring your points from your account to another travel entity like, flights, hotels, and so on. Who Wells Fargo transfers out to are Avios. Avios is used by British Airways, Iberia, Air Lingus, and a couple others, Qatar Airlines as well. And then they have choice privileges, Flying Blue, which is Air France, KLM, and Avianca Life Miles. So not a lot of choices. I think where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck is through Avios, and then there are ways of transferring to like British Airways, and British Airways going to Qantas to get a better deal. But if you're getting 2 cents per point on your transfers, then that's probably great. And like I mentioned, the two cards that can transfer to those partners are the Autograph and the Autograph Journey. And then the other 3 cards can transfer their points to one of these 2 cards if you have those as well. I'm always interested in travel portals that I don't have a card for. So I'm like, do I get a card and then I go to the travel portal and then I don't like it? Like it's terrible. User experience is bad. Like it's not worth having the card because of all the hoops I got to run through. So let's look at the Wells Fargo. I happen to have the Autograph. We'll jump into the Wells Fargo travel portal as well as look at the transfer partner mechanism for transferring your points. All right, so here we are at my wife's account. If you have a card, it'll be listed in your account summary, and then below it will be the Wells Fargo rewards system. That's how you get to it. It'll show your points balance here. I only have 120 points because we just started with the card. And then you'll click into the rewards, and then it'll bring you to the Wells Fargo rewards section. You'll scroll down here, and then to user rewards, you click here, see all options. That will bring you to the list of options. So you can redeem to your account, gift cards, redeem for purchases, pay with rewards. You can see those are all, I have 120 points, so I have $1.20. So it's all 1 cent per point for all those transfer types. Then you have the rewards points transfer, or you can book travel. So we'll go to the book travel first and we'll come back to the rewards transfer. So that brings us to the Wells Fargo travel portal. And you can book flights here, hotels, car rentals, other activities. Cruises, you have to call a number. And vacations, you also have to call a number. I guess you can redeem for cruises and vacations in the portal, but they don't have an actual online way to do that. You gotta call. So for flights, let's just, the thing that I always am concerned about is when I use Capital One and I'm trying to book premium economy, which is like you've got the main cabin and then there's just the step up economy where it has a little bit more legroom. In like the Capital One portal, it's not clear that you can get that seat or that you are getting that seat. It's very vague. Whereas the Chase portal, completely clear. I'm purchasing premium economy that sits in these rows that I know are the premium economy seats. Capital One doesn't really make it look like you are, and then I actually purchased seats and then it wasn't the premium economy even though I thought it was. So that kind of gave me a bad taste in my mouth for travel portals, which Chase sort of redeemed for me. And it looks like we'll book this right here. So it lets you choose premium economy. Capital One, it was worded weirdly, like sometimes those seats were business, sometimes where they were just regular. They didn't make it clear that the flight maybe didn't have premium economy. I don't know. This one explicitly, you can choose economy, premium economy, business, or first class. So I will choose premium economy for 2 adults. We're going DFW to London in February for a week, round trip. February 16th to the February 22nd, Dallas to London. So American Airlines, 3:15 p.m. to 6:20, $5,367.20, and the same amount of points, 1 cent per point. And if you go over to American Airlines, for that same exact flight is 2,684 times 2 is within a pin. I mean, within $1, it's the same price. Now, what's really great is it shows you the whole price. I had 2 people booked, and it shows you the price for 2 people. How many times have you been booking for travel? You put 2 people in, it tells you the price, you get all excited, and it's 1 person. Like, I want 2 people. I gotta pay for both of them. Just tell me the whole price. Jesus, how hard is it? So my first impression of the portal looks great. Same price as American Airlines, so you're not getting screwed because they have a portal. So I like it. Now you're getting 1 cent per point, whereas if you did it in the Chase portal, you'd be getting 1.25 or 1.5 if you have the Sapphire cards. But maybe they'll change that soon. They're copying everything else off of Chase, so who knows? So let's go check out the transfer partners and see how that works. So we'll scroll down, see all options, click on rewards points transfer, view options. That will take you to the rewards point transfer. It tells you how many points you have and then gives you your 2 options right now, which is airlines and hotels. And then, so basically you have to link an account and then you do a 1-to-1 point transfer to Avios or Life Miles, British Airways Avios, which that's weird that it's Aer Lingus, wasn't it? Yeah, Air Club. Yeah, so directly to each one. Flying Blue, Iberia, and then for hotels, it's just choice for now. I mean, obviously, I think they're going to try to ramp up their transfer partner list, but for now, not so hot, but it's Avios. I mean, everybody has Avios. So you could throw points in the Avios from here, throw points in the Avios from one of your other cards, pull it together, boom, Bob's your uncle. So by adding the autograph journey to the setup, it does give you an annual fee to worry about. Now you have to offset something, but again, comparatively to other setups, it's not bad at all. It's either at par with some of the lower setups and way below some of the higher end setups, but let's do something we've never done before. Let's compare setups. So back over at richwithpoints.com, we're going to go over to the new section. I hope it's released by the time this video is released. I'm working hard on it, but it's called Wallet Setups. Now it looks very similar to the card setups. The one difference is you can do multiple cards in each column, whereas the card setup, you could just do 1 card per column. So we're going to come down here to the Wells Fargo Trifecta and click on that. And now you'll see all of the things that it covers along with every benefit that it covers as well. So this is the trifecta, not with the journey, but what's the difference between this one and with the journey? So we'll add another column over here. We'll scroll down to the quadfecta. Now you can just add whatever card you want on here, select the card and just keep adding and adding and adding. So I could add more to this column as well. But I have some popular setups to just make it a little easy for you. So we'll click on the quadfecta and now we're gonna compare setups. So whatever card in each column is the better deal for that particular category, it's going to highlight that card and give you what the coverage for that category is. Along with, if we've set our preferences to prefer travel points, which I have, let me show you that real quick. I don't want to get too deep into this. I want to start comparing cards, but if you come over to my profile now, and there is a travel points redemption preference. So if you choose transfer partners, you're gonna see those evaluations from the points guy factor into how we're comparing cards. Now, if you're just like, I don't do that. I just redeem in the portal. Don't mess with that. You can click on that. It's just gonna give you comparisons across the board like you would be redeeming in the portal. So for like the Sapphire Reserve, you're gonna get 1.5, but for all the other cards, you're just gonna get 1 cent per point. So, and then if you're just cash only, just don't even bother with all that. Just tell me what the cash only value is gonna be. You can select that as well. I'm gonna stick with transfer partners for this comparison, and then I'm gonna come back over to our comparison, and here we go. And if at any time you want to just turn it off and see what the raw numbers are, then you can do that. These are going to be estimated based on the points guy's valuation for each system's points. And you can even mix systems. So you can have Capital One cards mixed in with Wells Fargo cards that are battling Chase cards and Amex cards. If you just, I only want 2 systems and I want to figure out which system is best for me, then you can battle those out in the wallet setup comparison. So right now we've got the trifecta versus the quadfecta. We can see right away, obviously there's a 0 annual fee for the trifecta. That's great. With the quadfecta, because we added the journey, you're having to pay $95. So we're losing out there. However, what we're gaining is 1x on airfare, both portal and non-portal. Doesn't really matter. And then everything's equal all the way down to hotels. Now we're getting 3x to 5x. That's a big difference. Scroll down. So that's what we're getting. Plus, with the journey, you're getting that $50 airfare credit. Now, in the future, this is my plans. I'm going to allow you to click on this and then it'll automatically deduct from. So if you think, oh, I'm totally going to take advantage of this, there will be some sort of a checkbox here that you can check, and it'll give you the effective annual fee. So right now it's $95. So minus $50, you're gonna have $45 annual fee. And then now you're comparing a 0 to a $45 annual fee. And with some of the other larger setups where you got tons of credits, then you can start whittling away. So I use the Walmart credit for the Platinum. I use the $300 travel credit for the Sapphire. So you went from 550 to 2, so you get it. So that's gonna come, just stay tuned. I'm working hard. I have a real day job that I also work very hard at during the day, sometimes at night and on weekends as well. So I squeeze this in when I can. So going back up, so you'll have to figure out, is the $45 annual fee, if you're using the $50 credit, worth the extra points you're gonna get on airfare and the extra points you're gonna get on hotels? Now, let's just say that we're gonna go with the quadfecta, and let's compare that to a completely different setup. Everywhere I see, everyone's Capital One Duo, Capital One Duo. So we'll compare the Capital One Duo. Now, if you've seen any of the videos, the Venture X has a $395 annual fee, but they pretty much pay you to have it. So you can get $5 back. Watch the video link below, but effectively you can get this down to nothing. So really, it's 45 versus a positive $5 with the Venture X. But look at our comparison here. You got 4x outside of the portal where you're only getting 2x. You have to book in the portal. So this gives you a little more freedom, and this comparison tool is making that very clear. Like I don't have to just look at 2 cards and see how they do. I can factor everything in. So in the portal, you're only 1 less, but outside of the portal, you're 2 more. So that's great. So the active cash is covering where all the Venture X 2x is covering. The car rentals, 3x versus 2x, more here. But in the portal, you get 10x. So if you don't mind booking in the portal, then you're going to do way better on the Capital One setup. But look at all this other stuff. So you get 3x on cell phone payments. You get 3x on cruises versus 2x. You get 3x on dining. Covers the Saver One. The Saver One's great, but you get 3x on dining through the Wells Fargo autograph. And then you get all this extra stuff with the Attune. You get the 4x for fitness memberships. You get 4x for the flowers and gardens. Come on, get your wife some flowers. You get 3x on gas stations. You're only getting 2x on the Venture X. 2x on groceries. That's a big one. So that's one you really have to consider. You're getting 3x on the Saver One, 2x on the active cash. 4x on hobby stuff. You know, maybe that's a throwaway, but it's kind of neat. You get 5x on hotels out of the portal. Out of the portal, you get 5x on hotels. You're only getting 2x. Now you get 10x in the portal, which is outstanding, but it's how do you do things? How do you want to do things? But this tool is giving you the ability to compare that and make informed decisions. So you get all your transit stuff. You get parking is 3x. You get pet care. Ride sharing, that's huge. Ride sharing, 4x. If you're living in the city and you're doing Ubering or whatever, you know, buses, transit, down here, 4x. Toll fees, streaming services. Everyone touts this is a great streaming service one. You're getting 4x on the Attune. That's amazing. So anything travel, you get 3x. Over here, you're relying on the 2x catch-all on the Venture X. So for benefits, this is where the Venture X is going to shine compared to the autographs. You get the pay for your pre-check. You get the anniversary bonus. That's $100 every year. But we do count that that's $100 every year, but we do count that as the offset for the annual fee. So if you're going to consider that to be sort of better than the autograph annual fee, then you can't count it down here as well. So you get secondary, whereas the Venture X gets primary coverage, which I love. I think it's one of my favorite things about the Sapphire Reserve and the Venture X is you get primary coverage. Cell phone, it's actually $200 more with the Venture X than the other, but you know, don't break your phone. Like I said, you get the $50 airfare credit, which takes the annual fee of $95 down to $45. So that's how we're counting that. $300 credit is what brings your annual fee down there. We're not counting the Premier Collection. We're not counting the Lifestyle. And then you get a free additional card holders. You do with the autographs as well. That's not a big deal, but the fact that card gives you access to lounges and partner lounges, that is huge, where you don't get that with the autograph journey. Now you do get it with the Signify. So if we added the Signify here, so let me go back up, and we could take the active cash off, but it won't make much of a difference. So if you were doing the business cash and we scroll back down here, you'll see that now you have lounge access with Priority Pass. It is different in the verbiage, which is a little bit sketch that has pay as you go. I looked on the website and it's not totally clear what that means, but it may mean you get access, like you have a membership, but each time you go to the lounge, you have to pay a small fee to get into the lounge. I hope it's not like that, but maybe. So beware of that. And then you've got pretty much similar travel protections down here. So let's go back up and try a different one. We'll clear these cards out and let's just do the Chase Trifecta with the Sapphire. So now we're 95 and 95. We're nice and even here. And honestly, the Chase Trifecta is one of the most popular setups out there, especially with the preferred. It's sort of that entry level credit card setup. And let's compare that. Let's get rid of the Signify and just keep the journey to keep it 95 versus 95 and see how we do here. I didn't have the travel point values on before, but I'll leave those on this time just to see what that looks like. And then I'm gonna turn off the Freedom Flex's quarterly categories. You know, it makes it kind of weird. You've got these weird categories in there that'll only be there for the quarter and won't be there for the rest of the year. But we do need to factor in the fact that the Flex does have categories. So I'll turn that back on after we go through it the first time. So we'll come through, annual fee we're tied at, airfare with the estimated point values on. So we're transferring points through the travel portals to get the best rate we possibly can for those points. We're getting 6.4 on airfare versus 4.1. Now in the portal, all the cards get 5x on airfare in the portal. It just happens to highlight the first one in the list, which was the Flex. So it can be the Freedom or it can be the Sapphire as well. If you don't mind, in the portal, you're doing really well. It's 4x versus 5x, which converts to 6.4 versus 10.25. The chase points are worth quite a bit more. They're 2.05, I think, cent per point, whereas the Wells is 1.6. So that's where the conversion differences are. You've got the catch-all. It's a better catch-all card over here because you only have 1.5 for the Freedom and you've got 2 for the active cash. Then outside of the portal, you're doing much better on car rentals. Inside of the portal, you're doing much better with the chase setup. Cell phone bills, you're doing better. Cruises, you're doing better. Dining, you're doing better with Chase. Drugstores, you're doing better with Chase. Then you got the weird ones like the fitness membership, flowers and gardens, you're doing way better than the 1.5x. Groceries online, if you don't mind doing that, then you're doing actually much better with the Sapphire because they don't have groceries over here. They don't really have groceries. Neither of these two setups have a grocery card. So you're just getting the 2x. And then if you do online, then you get 3x here. Otherwise, it'll be the 1.5. So it'd be 3.0 for groceries in the store versus 3.2. Then you got the other weird ones, hobbies, you're gonna kill it. So hotels outside of the portal, 8x. I mean, that's amazing. Versus 4, you're getting twice the value on the points with the Wells than you are with the Chase. But inside the portal, you're doing really well with Chase, but I mean, 8x versus 10.25. Still great. Then you've got parking, 4.8, pet care, quarterly categories. Obviously, they don't have any quarterly categories, and I'll just turn those on so you can see what those would be. This quarters categories are movie theaters. I think gas is up here. Yeah, gas, 5x on gas, 5x on movie theaters, and 5x on live entertainment. So I'll turn those off now. And then you've got sports and recreation, streaming, which, you know, again, this one is touted as a really great card for streaming, and the Attune is beating that. Then you've got toll fees, you've got transit, you got travel, all winning on the Wells side. For coverage, you do have primary with the Sapphire, which is great for the auto rental insurance, cell phone protection. This one is $800 with $1,000 cap per year, whereas this one is only $600 per claim. We don't have a way of offsetting the $95 fee on the Chase side that I'm aware of. There's nowhere to do that. Whereas I at least get $50 credit annually for any airline purchases. So for the Sapphire, I'll have to squeeze that out of a DoorDash pass or something like that. Instacart, I mean, these are things I don't really count as benefits because I'm probably not going to use it. So you can do a 4th night at the Ennismore Hotel. I mean, who's doing this? Nobody's doing this. This is not even a benefit. You do get in the portal, if you're transferring just in the portal, you do get 1.25x on all your points, 25% more on your points, whereas you don't get that just going through the portal on the Wells. So that's great. But then standard insurance, I mean, pretty much equal there. Actually, let's go see what that does. So if we're not big on doing the whole transfer to partners and that whole dance, then let's go over to the profile, turn on just portal redemptions, and then come back to the wallet setups. we're getting 1.25 on all of our purchases, because anything that the Flex or the Freedom can earn points on can be transferred to the Sapphire and then used in the portal for 1.25x on those points. And that's guaranteed. You don't have to work for that. You just use those points in the portal through that card, and you're getting 25% more on all your points. So as we just kind of scroll back down, it makes a bit of a difference because you're not getting any kind of a bonus on this side, but you are on this side. So if we scroll down, you can see it's much more even than it was before. It was a little swayed over to the Wells side, but it's much more even now. Even on the ones that the Chase is losing on, I mean, you're losing by 0.25 and 0.5. I could go through these comparisons for hours, adding different cards and different setups, but I'll let you do that. Go over to the website, richwithpoints.com. Sign up, it's free. There's not even any ads there. This is just a love thing for me. I love doing it. I just find this whole credit card thing super interesting, and I make websites for a living, so just worked out. But let me know what you think in the comments about the Wells Quadfecta Trifecta thing. Do you guys use it? Am I missing anything? Let me know in the comments. You guys have been amazing. I appreciate all the feedback. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. That's how I can keep doing this and keep the website free. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.